Hello, Paws on Your Heart families. Here we are with your week 1 litter update. In today's video, we are going to give you a little update on Mama Noisette. We are going to tell you about all the puppies, give you their current rates, let you know if they have doubled their birth weight. That is their first major milestone. We'll give you a little update on what they've been doing in this past week, and we'll also get you started on some things to get ready for your puppy coming home with you. Hi, I'm Claire from Van Isle Labradoodles, and these are our mini Australian Labradoodle puppies from the Paws on Your Heart litter. And these puppies are now 1 week old, and you'll see Mama Noisette is very comfortable having herself over on this side of the whelping box with me between her and the puppies. Very happy to leave them alone, not concerned about what's going on, and figuring that, yeah, I am in need of a little me time, a little break from my mummy duties. And you can hear that over here we have a complainer about that. That's Silver Collar. He's having quite a lot to say about that. And sometimes that all you need to do is just move them when they're doing that. So what have the puppies been doing this week, in this first week of their lives? Well, first of all, you can see, holy smokes, have they ever grown? They no longer look like these tiny, helpless little things. They are still small, and they are still helpless. They still have their ears and eyes sealed shut, but they are so much more agile. They are stronger, and they also have learned a lot this last week. Silver Collar is just not wanting to be comforted, so he's going to scream his head off, make a big production, and we'll get him there at the milk bar, and that just solves every puppy's problem. I said, oh, phew, I do still have a mom. I thought she'd abandoned us, and I was about ready to starve to death. So funny how they are. Yes, that's your baby. So they're all much stronger now. They have a lot more strength. They can move around better. They can move around more. They are able to negotiate their way at the milk bar to find where there is a gland that has some milk in it. If they don't like it, they're well able to move to another one. And now you can see Silver Collar right now is putting a whole lot of work into this, and he's still complaining. So Noisette's going to attend to him, see if maybe he's got a sore tummy because he has to go to the bathroom. She'll look after that for him. But probably what he's complaining about is where he's at doesn't have a fast enough flow of milk for him. So you see the puppies kneading on their mom, and that's to get the milk flowing faster. And he may just be trying to nurse at a time when Noisette's supply is low. They may have all just eaten, and so there's not much there. Maybe he didn't have a good position when everyone else did, and so he's trying to make up for that now. Now this is something that the litter does naturally. Of course, there's 6 of them. There's not room for them all to nurse equally when they're at the milk bar. So one time one will be down here getting a really good feed because the larger mammary glands with the most milk are at the back. And one time they'll be closer to the front here. They'll all have found their favorite spots by now, and they'll try and go to those favorite spots most of the time. And if I'm going to suggest to him that he try up here, because I think there might be a little bit more up there. So usually I don't interfere at all when they're eating. However, if somebody's fussing away like that and carrying on, then sometimes I'll make some helpful suggestions like that and just move them along. Now that seems to have satisfied him. There seems to be a better flow from that one. So it's quite fun to watch them as they progress and as they move along and continue to get stronger and stronger. They certainly, it's amazing in 1 week how much more independent they are. We've also turned the heat down now because they are a week old. The heat is down now to 22 degrees. And you can see how they are all together because that's entirely normal for them all to be together here. They want to touch all the time because that's where they get their comfort. Because they can't see and they can't hear, all of their information is sensory and through their nose. So they want to feel that comfort of another body right beside them. It does keep them a bit warmer. Now, if they were cold, they would be all huddled up on top of each other and their bodies would feel cool to the touch. So we make sure we feel them all the time to make sure that they aren't cool, that they're nice and warm. And usually they are sleeping all together in a row like this, or sometimes they're even more spread out. So we know that the temperature is okay for them. Now, puppies during the first week of life really do nothing other than eat, sleep, and that's it. That's all they're doing. But while they're sleeping, you'll often see them jerking around, and lots of people think they're dreaming. And yes, dogs do dream. We know that now. It's been scientifically proven that dogs do have dreams. They may even have nightmares, because sometimes you will hear a dog crying while they're sleeping. So it's probably something like a bad dream that we would have. But when they're this little, when you see them jerking about, and if we watch here, we'll see them, Blue Collar's doing a little bit of jerking right now. What that really is nature's way of having them able to develop their muscles and the tone in their muscles while they're sleeping. So because all they do is eat and sleep, they would not be able to develop any muscle tone if that was all they were doing. So they have these herky-jerky movements there. You saw Black just did a great big one. Oh my goodness, Silver, you're just so unhappy. So you can see them always twitching, and that's constant. They're always doing that. So that's what's happening. They're building their muscle strength and their tone and their coordination there. So other than that, that's all that a puppy does in the first week. But they do have to do a few more things when they are being raised by a professional breeder. So what we start doing when the puppies are either 2 or 3 days old is what we call early neurological stimulation. And I'm going to use Purple Collar Girl here as my demo dog. And early neurological stimulation is something that was started by the U.S. military. It was believed that it was going to make dogs stronger in terms of cardiac health and just more robust overall in terms of their physical health, as well as preparing them mentally to go into war. None of that's been proven scientifically. However, it does seem that when you take a puppy and right from this very early age, you expose them to a variety of different things in the day that are unexpected for them, and they realize that nothing bad happens, that's a really good foundation in their head for recognizing that new situations are not scary. New situations are things that can bring joy. New situations are things that can be neutral. So they're very short exercises. They only last for 3-4 seconds, and it's doing something as simple as holding a puppy like this, because obviously this would not be a normal position for a puppy. Or we place the puppy on their back. Now these puppies are Labradoodles, so they're on their backs a lot to sleep. Nonetheless, we're still going to hold them on their backs like this. And the other really common position at this age is we just hold them like this for just a few seconds. And then as soon as we're finished, we bring them up for a snuggle. And this is part 2 of what we're doing, and this is scent recognition. This is where we let them snuffle up close into our neck and learn to recognize our smell. We give them lots of other things to smell too, but we don't overload them. We only do 1-2 smells a week. So the next thing we'll have them do is smell their mom's food, because of course that smells quite different from the milk bar. Later on, we'll give them all sorts of different things to smell, such as coffee beans and various other spices and different people. We'll get them smelling, if we have something with like a scented soap, we'll let them come up and sniff that. If I have perfume, I'll put it on the back of my body so that the dogs are not able to get that with their tongues, and let them have a brief smell of that. We don't leave them there for too long because some scents can be toxic to puppies, so you've got to be careful when you're doing that. But this is how they begin to recognize us and know us, and this is how they first identify, oh, that's that lady, oh, that's that guy, that's that other lady. And they begin to know who's important in their lives and who provides what to them. So that is basically what the puppies have been up to in this past week. Now Noisette in the past week has become, as you can see, much more independent. She's quite happy to leave the puppies. On her first litter, or in her first litter, she would not have done this at this point. She would have still been very much with them all the time. Once the girl's had a litter and now she's on her second litter, she's much more blasé, and it's like, oh yeah, it's okay, I've got this, I don't need to worry so much. It's sort of like people. First kid comes along and we follow everything by the book and take a ton of pictures. Second kid, a little bit less. If you have 3 kids, oh well, you know, whatever. It's much, much like that. So she's feeling quite happy to be away from them. Now, Noisette's guardian came to visit her a couple of days ago. That just made Noisette so happy. She was just thrilled to see them. They didn't get to come and meet the puppies though, because Orca, who's next door, would not permit that. She didn't know who those people were. She didn't want to have them in where her puppies were, and she set up quite a fuss, and we just accepted that. She wasn't going to be happy doing that. That wasn't going to work out. And so Noisette and her guardian met outside in our courtyard and had their visit out there. Noisette was good for about 30 minutes, and then she said, sorry, I gotta go check the kids, because 30 minutes is my max. So she's going in and out quite regularly. She's a bit more comfortable now that it's only 22. She'd like to stay out even more. We do frequently remind her that she does need to come and see the kids. She sleeps outside of the box quite often now too. The tile floor is of course cooler than sleeping on the carpet, but she's doing a great job. Now, what about the puppies? Have they reached that critical milestone? Now, we're filming this video on Friday, and these puppies were born on a Saturday. So they're 6 days old, and let's see if they have met their milestone, because if they have doubled their birth weight, then guess what? They will have done that ahead of schedule, and they'll be superstars. And we've been having a little bit of a fun contest, or not so much a contest, but interactions on Facebook where it was, which puppy do you think has doubled their birth weight first? So let's find out who has doubled their birth weight. So we're going to do the puppies in order. I have all the puppies recorded in a special software program that was designed just for us. And this tracks their weight throughout the first daily for the first 21 days. And then we go weekly, and then I will ask you, once you have your puppy at home, to give me some weight updates. And so why do we do that? That helps us to be a little bit more accurate when we're telling you, we expect your puppy to mature to, we expect this to happen, because then we can put this data all together and then we can compile it and go, okay, when we had Noisette and Bowie having puppies, this is where they started off with at week 1, and this is where they ended up as a mature dog. So it's kind of fun and really helpful for everybody because we want to give you as much information as we can. We want to tell you the size of your puppy with some accuracy. We want to tell you when they're going to be going home with some accuracy, and also what sort of colors and patterns you can expect, because we want you to be able to pick the litter that suits you best for all the things you're looking for. And of course, temperament is the most important part. So we're going to start with Mr. Blue Collar. This is our handsome chocolate guy, light chocolate. And as I've said, I still can't tell if these guys are sables or not. I can see a little bit of a black line on his back today, but I think I'm probably seeing things. I think I'm just thinking I'm seeing things. So Mr. Blue Collar now is 431 grams. So, oopsie, I just lost my information there. That's one thing that's not good about using this on my phone, is it is too easy for the information to go where I don't want it to go. Sorry, there we go. Next is Mr. Silver Collar, who is making such a production. Now, one thing I will say is these puppies are noisier than orcas. We don't hear orcas, we do hear noisettes. So does that mean you're going to have a yappy puppy? Heck no. That means you've got puppies who are really good at communicating and letting you know when something's wrong. And that's important, because you want to know. And Mr. Silver Collar is just going out of his mind talking today. And Mr. Silver Collar is going to go see his mom, because he's just got himself all worked up again. I don't like the puppies to get worked up. So when something's bothering them like that, I'm going to give them what they want. It doesn't matter if I'm trying to do something else. We stop, we wait, we adjust, and do what the puppy needs. Silver's 482 grams. And that is not the biggest puppy in the litter. I thought it was for a minute, but it's not. Oh, Noisette, you're going to make his heart broken. Oh, Noisette's not very cooperative. Next, we've got Purple Collar Girl. She was my model that we were using for ESN, or ENS rather. And this little girl is a little chocolate phantom. And I'm pretty positive she is a phantom and not a sable, but again, we'll just have to wait a little while to see for sure. Little Purple, she is just a sweet little girl. She is very lively. She's a go-getter. She knows how to get her way around the milk bar, get what she needs. She's really a great dog. 421 grams is what Purple weighs. And next we have Green. Green is our solid ebony boy. Hey, Chunky. Come on, babe. Noise, this is my big fella. Yeah. Hi. Hello, handsome. Just love how the black, such a classic look. And all of those gleaming little coats. And then this little tiny wisp of a goatee. Just a doll. And Mr. Green Collar. Guess what he weighs? He is our chunky monkey. He is the first puppy over 500 grams. He is 504 grams. He is the big guy right now in the litter. Then next we have, I believe it's Red. Yep, I haven't got the order memorized. Red Collar Girl. Hi, sweetheart. Hi. Now if you look at Red Collar when I bring her up here, you see those little waves on her back? She's getting quite a little bit of wave in her coat. That means she's probably going to have a little bit of more curl in her coat. That tends to make the coat a little easier to maintain. And also it can mean it's a little bit better for people if they suffer from allergies. Not always, but it sometimes helps. This girl is also a milk chocolatey phantom girl. And she is weighing in at 478 grams. And last but not least is our smallest little peanut in the litter. And that's our pretty little pink girl. Our only light colored puppy in the litter. She's a pretty little caramel girl. Trying to be a tuxedo, almost a tuxedo. Her paws, really to be technically correct, her white should go right up to her knees, which it doesn't, but otherwise she has everything you need for a tuxedo. And look, she has a little pretty beauty spot over here. She's just a little wisp of a thing, and she's 386 grams. So, who made the milestone? And I can tell you on day 5, nobody had doubled their birth weight. So today on day 6, if anyone has doubled their birth weight, then they've made the milestone. Every single puppy has. Every one of them doubled. So there was no winner. They all doubled their birth weight on the same day. That is great. So what does that tell us? That tells us this is fantastic news, really. It means they're all getting an equal amount of nutrition. They're all having equal access to the milk bar. Everything's going beautifully. We don't have a puppy who's weak. We don't have a puppy who's getting bullied out. And we don't have some big bully who's hogging it all. So fantastic news. So proud of them. That's a great way to start off that very first milestone. Now, for my families on this litter, what I want you to start thinking of this week is how to start getting your house ready for welcoming your puppy. I'm just going to move my microphone back here because I don't want the puppies to be getting all over it. So I'll just move it there. You want to start thinking about zones in your house, places where you do and you don't want your puppy to go. How are you going to block them off? You want to start looking at, do you have any plants that are toxic to pups? How high up are you going to need to put them so that your puppy can't reach them? You're going to start to want to just walk around your house and look for potential hazards and dangers and figure out where is and isn't a safe zone for your puppy. How will you block that out? Where are you going to put your puppy's X-pen? Where's a good spot for the X-pen to go? And we'll talk about how you figure that out in a little while. Also, you're going to want to work out what door are you going to have your puppy go in and out of to go to the bathroom. You want to pick one door and be consistent with that door. It should be a door that's readily accessible from all parts of your home or from the parts where you are living in most of the time. A door that's easy for everybody to open, especially if you have young children. You want that door to be something they can readily open and close, not one they have to fart and fuss around with and is going to take too long and we got the pee on the floor. All those types of things. I'm going to be sending you a video, and that is going to have more in-depth information for you on what you need to start to be thinking about and how to start to make these decisions in your home. And then for the fun part of your assignment for this week, start thinking of a name. That is always the most fun thing of all. You're going to start thinking of a name that's unique, something that's not one of the more popular dog names that we hear right now. And right now, really super popular names are Finn, Sadie, Gracie, Lucy, Bailey. Those names are really common. And if you're at the beach or the park and you call your dog, you don't want 15 dogs answering to you. You want your dog. And you want your dog to be able to not tune out hearing their name because they hear it all around them all the time, but being able to hone right in on that name that is theirs and theirs alone. So I'm sure there's another Orca in the world, another Noisette, another Ripple, but they're not common names. So it's not that likely when I'm somewhere and I call my dog that someone else's dog is going to come at the same time. My dogs all know their names, they all know their nicknames. And that's another thing. You want to have a name that's easy to shorten and a name that you can make a nickname for. You want a name that's super easy for your children if you have children, something they can say so that the dog can understand it, something that people will remember, can spell readily, and pronounce easily. Noisette is named Noisette because her mother's name is Hazel. Noisette is hazel in French. And when I name my dogs, because I'm a breeder, I get to be a little bit eccentric and exotic with my names. So Noisette, all the staff at my vet clinic, none of them can say it. They all call her Noisette. Okay, it's just like my last name is DeRoche. Most people call us DeRochers. It's okay, it's fine, as long as it's close. But when you're doing it, something that's a little bit easier than Noisette, which is not easy for everyone to pronounce or spell or remember, something that's easier. Noisette does not live with children who are young enough to struggle with her name. And her guardians have lots of little nicknames for her. Nessie is what they call her quite frequently, which is just so cute and suits her. So I hope you've enjoyed the video today. Everything is going so well. I couldn't ask for better results. And on day 6 to have everybody doubling their birth weight. Yay, that's great. Orca's litter did the same thing. And I can tell you what that's all due to. It's due to their nutrition. And nutrition is so important for your dog. And we'll get into that more in the future. So if you have any comments, please put them in the below here in the video. It really helps us when you make comments, a thumbs up, and of course, if you subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all again next week for our week 2 update. And we'll see, maybe we'll have some eyes that have opened.